The next product that we want to go over as far as assembly and installation is our 8940. We refer to it as the Infinity Track system. It's an all PVC frame with a PVC panel, and you can actually add a track to as many panels or as wide as you want to make a door. The door that we're going to show you right now is a 4-panel pocket door that has the Infinity Track system to it. When you receive your packaging or receive your door, you'll have panels wrapped up individually, and then you'll receive a track package with all your parts and pieces. One of the things that we want to point out first is that in the packaging are 2 toting handles for your panels. If you're installing this as an impact door, those panels can be a couple hundred pounds or more, and we'll make sure you handle them properly. So we provide you with some handles to tote the panels around. Take those off your packaging first so you can move your panels around and get them set up. Next, we're going to show the assembly of the outer frame with the neoprene pad, how to properly put that together, how to caulk it, and the proper shim to use. When you're ready to install your main frame, first run 2 continuous beads of 3/16 inch caulking around the perimeter of the frame and set your frame in the opening. Also take note on the installation details on the Florida Product Approval website that you're required to use structural shims as opposed to wood shims. Anything greater than a 1/16 inch space needs to be shimmed, and you can shim up to an allowable of a 1/4 inch space. So we've assembled the outer frame. We've determined that the opening is plumb square and ready for the product. The product's the correct size. Everything is as we ordered it. We've looked over the product to make sure we have all the parts and pieces that are needed, and we've gone ahead and assembled and installed the main frame into the opening, and we're ready to start trimming it out and setting the panels. Now we have the main frame installed in our opening. Remember, it's key to refer to the Florida Product Approval installation details that will describe fastening pattern, number of fasteners, as well as minimum embedment and properly installing those. After you install your screws through your outer frame, you want to go back and top each screw with caulk, as well as running caulk in the screw holes prior to running them into the structure. After that's complete, we have a nice clean finish. We cover all the screw heads with some interior snap trim that goes into all the tracks of the outer frame. Russell's going to show you how we put in the head first. We're going to apply that. It snaps right into the frame with a mallet. Okay, one key thing to do when you're installing these trims is when you go to put in your jam pieces, make sure you start those all the way up to the head of as far as inside the door as you can get. So we have a small gap at the bottom for appropriate water drainage through the weeping system. So push those all the way up. And you want to do all your tracks that you have all the way around the door. Head first, then your jams, and then do your sill last. Okay, now that we have our installation screw hole covers all installed in the outer frame, we're ready to insert our roller tracks in the sill. We'll put one, this is a pocket door, so all panels will slide, and we're going to put one in each track.
When we're installing the roller tracks, they need to stay approximately 2 inches from each end for weep. This is the weep system on the 8940 at each end.
Okay, your tracks will snap down into the sill, and we're ready for the next step. Okay, we're ready to set our panels. The panels are ordered in an alphabetical order. If we have an A, B, C, D door, you want to make sure the A panel goes in the A position, the B in the B position, etc. The doors are labeled with a letter according to the order as to where they go. And if you just follow that, you should be able to get it together without any problem. We've also laid down some cardboard here on our floor. We recommend that you do lay something down as you carry the panels in or ready to install it, that you rest them on something other than in the dirt or the grass to keep them clean and not damage the panels. So we also want to point out that we mentioned early on in the packaging you receive 2 toting handles. We've taken those handles out of the packaging, and there's screws already screwed into the end of the panel on both ends. Just simply snap those handles on and it'll assist you in being able to move the panels. So if you're ready, we'll put in the panels.
At this point, you need to remove the screws for the handles.
Okay, ready?
It's important here when you're going in with your panels that you go in with the top first and then swinging the bottom end, clearing the rollers.
Hold the panel for a second.
Now it's real important on the second panel when you go to put it in. You need to overlap the panel that was just installed, the first panel. Let's call it the A panel and this being the B. Overlapping at least by 6 inches so your interlocks are clear when you put the panel in place. We have A panel in, B panel. Now we're setting C. Again, lapping C 6 inches over B. And we're installing D panel. Again, D overlaps C by 6 inches, keeping the interlocks free and clear and everything's lined up.
Sure not.
Straight in.
Okay. Okay. Now we have all of our panels installed and interlocked. We want to adjust the panel height to make sure they roll smoothly in the door. Russell's going to adjust the rollers with a number 3 hand screwdriver, and while he's doing that, we want to take the weight off the panel. So I'm going to tip it back while he raises or lowers the wheels to get it where he wants it. Then we set it back down, and then we're going to tilt it the other way, take the pressure off the wheels, make the adjustment, set it back down. Test the door, see if it's rolling the way you want it to roll. Okay. You notice we've already installed our handle. We're going to close the door into the jamb, adjust the lock, and get it to lock the way we want it to lock. Have all the other panels interlocked, and then we'll get ready to set our hook strip. All right, now we're in the interior of the house. We've set all of our panels. We've got them adjusted the way we want them to adjust. They roll nice and smooth. We've pushed the doors back a little bit, and we're ready to set the hook strip. The hook strip needs to be structurally applied to the house, the corner of the house. We're going to show applying screws on one leg and then afterward hit the other leg on the installation. You're going to need to make sure that the hook strip mates up to the panel that it's going to lock into, and shim or adjust it and place it on the house accordingly so it lines up plumb with the panel. Okay, now we're ready to put the strip in. Okay, Russell's got it set into the corner of the house. We're going to pull the panel back and lock it up. Once you've got the hook strip in, we're going to pull the panel up, interlock it into the strip, and then just look at your reveal and base the reveal of the hook strip off the panel. Make sure it's nice and even and is where you want it located, and then start hitting it with your, putting in your installation screws. We're almost done with our installation. One of the last things we're going to do is install our takeout clips. These go at the top of each panel. They allow you to be able to take the panel and put it into the door and out of the door, but you want to install these to give the door a nice finished look, but it also keeps the door from blowing out in a high wind event, such as a hurricane. It also keeps anybody from lifting the panel up and out of the track that shouldn't be taking it out. Russell's going to install one.
You're going to need a rubber mallet to install these. They fit nice and firm over the weather stripping. Just give them a little tap, lining them up. We'll provide you with a 5/16 self-tapper screw. Just install it in the end of the panel.
Okay, finally the last thing that we're doing is installing jam filler. And that's just to give the door a nice finished look. You'll put in 3 on this end, leaving the last track open for the main panel to lock into the jam, and then we'll put 4 in the other end. Just gives the door a nice finished look. And then the very last thing we do is we're going to install our panel bumper 5 inches from the end of the door on the inside on every panel that needs to. Last thing we're doing is installing the panel bumpers. They're attached to the bottom of each panel, about 5 inches from the edge of the panel, according to the install details. They'll catch the panel as you open the door and keep you from hitting your hand on the panels, and keep the doors from passing each other. And that's the end of the install.